Now, we started touching on it a little bit. To me, it isn't necessarily a decision, but the decision-making process. About, for example, you talked a little bit about your experience of going into the Air Force, a little bit about becoming a lawyer. When you come across a difficult decision, what's your process to make a better decision? What's your decision-making process?
I think I always start from a place of what can I bring to a situation. So I always try to recognize whatever the challenge is and then evaluate my own resources, my skills, my experience, my temperament, and then I decide how can I help this, how can I make a difference in this situation. I'm very mission focused. I mean, from a military trial lawyer, I identify something that needs to be accomplished and then I set about to achieve
Target,
that.
lock.
And make it happen.
Right.
And you put together the team because you can do nothing on your own.
So when you say skills and resources, talk about some of your skills that you are particularly, that makes you a strong candidate for 92. What are some of your skills that you bring to this district?
I think that my most important skill for this particular exercise for running for office is listening. I would much rather be listening to people than talking because I want to hear.
So this isn't good for you right now.
I know. I would like for you to be talking. I talked to a group of law students today, and I wanted them to talk. I wanted to hear what their perspectives are, and because I need to hear what other people are thinking in order to figure out how I can contribute to where they are, what the issue is, how I can make a difference and partner up or whatever. So I think that's my number one skill that I bring to this process.
And how about, you were talking about resources. What do you think some of the resources that you have?
I'm very fortunate having grown up in this community. Mm-hmm. Like I said, my campaign treasurer is one of my high school teachers. Okay. People that are coming out block walking for me, people that are encouraging me, that are connecting me with people are the people that I grew up with, my family in the district. So I think in terms of resources, I just have a wealth of people that I love who have inspired me to the lifetime of service, and they're asking me to do this now.
Okay. So people reached out to you and say, Jeff, you need to run.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about decision making. Someone would ask you or say, hey Jeff, how did you come to the realization, yes, I need to do this? Talking in the context of your process.
Yeah, well, in this particular experience, I mean, I recognize that 2020 is the most important race in certainly the decade. I think even more than that. I think 2020 is critical. And if you look around at all the different things that are happening, the State House is the most critical. It's the most critical series of elections. All of those 15 seats, 9 of which we must flip, hold 12, and I knew that I had to be part of that. And so when people said, you know, we've got Democrat must win this race, and you're the guy that can do it, then I thought this is worth putting my family through this, putting my life focused on this for the people of this community and for all of our state.
Were you initially a reluctant, no, I can't do that? Were you initially reluctant, or immediately you thought,
I have a 6-year-old son, and we've gone through some challenging things in his life, and so I'm mindful of that it was going to take time away, but I think I realized that this is so important, and when you focus on service, I was being asked to do something that was needed by the whole community, and that service calling drove me to say, things aren't easy, and you have to put the common good ahead of yourself. And so, yes, when service calls, I'm usually ready to follow.